Bonjour. So, everyone, welcome to another week of Comic Talk. 5 of the best. Because last week I tried a new format because there were so many comics out. Normally I do 6 of the best, the ones I really liked. I couldn't decide last week, so I've done 5 and then some also rans, and just had a little quick little chat about them. You voted in your thousands for the new format. Oh, anyway, yes, I kind of got your thoughts telepathically, yeah. Anyway, I've decided to do this new format again this week because I'm going to admit to you all, I think I need therapy now. 19 books this week, and I can't blame it on Paul every week, can I? I can't walk into Comics and Fantasy at Hornchurch in Essex and blame Paul every time. I know I've tried it in the past, but Paul, I've got to put my hand up and admit that I'm in trouble here and I got a problem. But it's a good problem. It's the problem I love, and I'm only joking. And before I get right into it, once again, thank you everyone that watches my videos, mostly the ones that at least watch my videos. But I love you even more if you give me the little thumbs up, and I love you even more, but not in a weird way, if you subscribe. You nutters, you beautiful nutters. Let's get on with it. So the 5 I've chosen. This is a last issue, and there's 2 Mark Millar books this week. You can guess the other Mark Millar book I've got, can't you? Because they didn't cover it last week, because in the UK it was late. This one wasn't. This is on time. Issue 6 of Nightclub, the last double-sized finale, done as you expect from Mark Millar. Just does a nice job and just ends nicely. It's an uplifting vampire story, which I never thought I'd hear myself say. Issue 2 of this. Now, I know I've done issue 1, but I've got to show you guys, if you're not picking this book up, I've got to show you guys how weird and wonderful they've gone with this. Would I want to see it continually? No. But if this is going to be a 6 or 8, even like they've done a 12-issue storyline with Punisher and Daredevil that kind of broke the mould, I wouldn't mind if they'd done that with this. But at the moment, it's a wonderfully weird take. Harks back to the old horror comics days. That's now I've got 3 first issues here. Obviously, the big book is the big game, issue 1. Mark Millar's attempt to mash up a ton of his characters, all the way back to Wanted. If you haven't read the comic, but you saw the movie, yeah, it was based on one of his comics. Pre-Kick-Ass. This issue 1 just impressed me. I've got a soft spot. I really have got a soft spot for Batman Beyond. I think it was watching the cartoons with my son and getting him the comics and then reading them. And anyway, that was a properly decent first issue of a comic book. That's why I'm recommending it, even though I've got a soft spot. And this, and the book of the week. What a lovely format to get Brian Hitch's artwork into. And a great storyline. Mark Waid doing superheroes. You can't get, it doesn't get any better than Mark Waid when he's on one with the superhero genre. Him and Jeff Johns, you know, there are a few modern writers, but I'm just talking about maybe the ones I grew up with. But I won't waffle on anymore. But they're the 5 I'm going to do a deep dive on. But honourable mentions, this, I know I think I may have done a deep dive on issue 1. These aren't all Batman stories. There is a Stormwatch story in here, which is Ed Brisson is the writer and Jeff Spokes on the art and colours. That really, it's one of the best things they've done with Stormwatch in a long while. So that is another recommendation. It is a big book. It's $8, but you are getting it's 4 stories anthology. Love it. Very nice book. Obviously, Brian Hitch in that large format Superman book. It makes this is the usual containment for his artwork, and the second issue is just as mad as the first one. They're properly going. Jonathan Hickman on that. He's on a real mad one, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. They're throwing it all, and only Brian Hitch can do them at the moment. Can do them stories. I'm sure there are other artists available. And you know, all you guys who follow me for any length of time know how much I love this. All the Gertrudes from all the different time zones. the multiverse of Gertrude in this month's issue. Love it, just love it. And Sean, Scotty Young, Sean Bean. No, he's not him. Brett Bean on the artwork. Brett Bean, such a worthy successor of Scotty Young that it's unbelievable. That book didn't skip a beat, and I was really worried when it was only him on the writing duties. But from the first issue, off the bat, I was going to call him Sean Bean again. Now it's in my head now. Brett Bean. Avengers Beyond. Now I have thrown this. It's the last issue. I've got to say, it didn't. Where Nightclub issue 6, it finished on a real good note, and it was an uplifting story, and we will get into it. This one, it kind of just ended, and you didn't realise it had ended, and they was doing the epilogue. So it was a little bit. It hasn't spoiled my enjoyment of the overall story. I think it was just that final pacing at the end. But again, with Derek Land on the artwork, Derek Land, Greg, oh, listen to me with the words, Derek Landy on the writing, and Greg Land on the artwork, who I've loved for a long while, so should remember his name. I have enjoyed this, so that's why I've put it in there. Although I'm not totally saying, oh, it spoiled it for me. Just a little pacing issue at the end. But I still think that is one of the better Avengers stories I've read in a while. This one, it's not worth me doing. I could recommend this every month, World Tree. And I think I do anyway. But I'm in a deep dive because there's not really a lot to show, because it's one of those horror thrillers, you know, a lot to do with computers, and so there's not really much to flick through. The art is, I might as well just read his name out, mightn't I? Fernando Blanco. The artwork is superb, yeah, and it suits the story. Image and the editors, producers, publishers, whatever you want to call them over there, and mostly the creators, the team ups they're doing between these writers and artists are really, really good. So that continues. Like if you're not into comics, pre-order your graphic novel, The World Tree, now, because that's going to be a good one. That's going to be stonking. And I'm going to throw this Hallows Eve, and I have mentioned this one before, and I've mentioned it because I just love it for its straightforward superhero antics. I just love the fact that is it Erica Schultz? I like the character's powers. She's got this bag of masks, and she can get the powers of whatever horror mask she puts on. I just love the quirkiness of that character. And the storyline that Erica Schultz has done in these first 5 issues, and I don't mean straightforward in a, like I always say, if I've got these comics on here, unless I'm specifically pointing at it and saying it is crap, they're on it to be praised. I'd rather use this weekly video to recommend stuff. Although, you know, I can't imagine many people are mental to pick up 19. I picked up a bunch of Night Terror. One thing, just quickly. So they are, the first 5 are deep dive. They're my also ran recommendations. We will do cover of the week at the end. Just go for, have a bit of fun, and imagine that the comics were still on the spinners when we were kids, or when I was a lad. Let's imagine that we still had limited pocket money, and we were lured in by the best covers. And sometimes I still am, and I have mentioned this in the past for those of you that have been listening. One thing I will mention before going is the night terrors, and I've been recommending a few of them, and I've picked up a few more this week. I think, just one quick criticism, I think they're running out of steam. I did watch a video recently where a guy just refused to talk about any of them. Well, I don't agree with that, but what I will admit is that at the beginning I found it a very cool concept. And the way they're kind of doing one-offs, that means you haven't got to get every single issue, otherwise you don't know where you are. You know, there's a storyline. There is a kind of very, very loose storyline of this one new character turning up. And it's kind of one-shots because you're in each character's nightmare. But I've got to admit, it's almost like they've gone too far with the crossover thing. So, you know, it's gone across every single title in the DCEU, and it's like, oh, there's a Harley Quinn one this week. It was all right. It wasn't what you think, put it that way. They got a certain character out of the way really quickly in that. There was Tenement, which again, I don't know why that wasn't on my also ran pile. That was a nice creepy. Certainly ain't gonna get cover of the week. I know that, but yeah. And these Night Terrors books, there's a few of them here. Oh, Battle Chasers 11, but some of these, see, I haven't read yet. Battle Chasers 11, I flicked through. I never thought I'd see the day. Yay, Battle Chasers 11. What is it, 20 years later? Aren't we patient fanboys? Anyway, join me after the scroll if you want to see a deep dive on the artwork inside my 5 books of this week. So, the last issue first. Issue 6, Nightclub. Yuan Ramirez's artwork on this has been absolutely outstanding, and obviously everything you expect from Mark Millar. And his vampire tale, his little team up of teens with vampire abilities. 3 vampire superheroes, essentially, this story has been. And I didn't think, I honestly, I will admit, I didn't think I'd go for this. I'm not the biggest fan of the vampire genre. This is the big bad guy in it, who they come across. And I'm not, but it really does. I've got to say, and I know, you know, I can't think of many people who are going to disagree with me when I say that Mark Millar's scripts, stories, they really do hammer along like an episode of a TV show. There's a quality here that, and I know he's doing something with Netflix and stuff, but and I'm not saying that in a bad way. They really do. They really do look at, you know, the action scenes have got plenty of power. From Juan Ramirez, his artwork, and there's still more to be revealed in this issue. So really enjoy. I hark back a little bit to Preacher. What's her name? Out of Preacher, the old granny. But anyway, it wasn't ripping it off. It just reminded me of that. I mean, what a what, you know, our 3 heroes go through it in this last issue. Let's just say that. Yeah, I won't go right up to the end because obviously that'll be, you know, but that is issue 6, final issue. So if you're going to pick up, you know, graphic novels instead of buying the monthlies or the floppies, as some people call them, then yeah, it shouldn't be too long a wait. Now, like I said, this book, I mean, I know Hulk's on the cover, but you'll get to see, like, look at all this classically gothic, you know, empty mine shafts and a song and an old song in the background of the hills or wherever we are in America. I mean, you don't get a lot more gothic than that, and it is a lovely art job that perfectly suits this very dark storyline. Philip Kennedy Johnson, the writer, and Nick Klein. You know, even this guy here reminds me of the Eerie comics. You know, when they used to have the narrator, and just evokes that kind of thing. This is the girl from the first issue who we saw having domestic problems. Now, Nick Klein's artwork again, but this is all coloured by him, so it looks like, I don't know whether he's watercoloured this or fully painted him. but just a nice way of just taking us out of the current story. See what I mean about the horror element of all this. You know, we see a little bit of Hulk, but that's in the dream. Just yeah, I've just thoroughly enjoyed it. That's why I'm recommending this for the second time. You know this character isn't who he appears to be, because he's a cop and he's being too nice. So you kind of know it, but the way the art is done, look how ominous they've made him look, and he's very friendly. That no eyes, obviously, because the glasses, even though it's at night when we do see him. Yeah, no, they even had to give him gap teeth, so you know all is not well when they get to where they're going, which is here. See what I mean? See what I mean, guys? This isn't. And they, yeah, they want to sacrifice. They want to sacrifice Bruce Banner, don't they? That is not going to go well, is it? That is not going to go well. But I love the way they've just. You've got the sound effect of the knife going in, a reflection, his reflection. Even the lettering changes. I'm not going to show you anymore. I'm going to tease you. We've got to read it. You've got to pick it up. You've got to pick the book up, guys. Honestly, if you like the Incredible Hulk and you like horror, then I like both. Then that one is for you. Now on to 3 first issues. Here we go with the first one. Mark Millar dropping us right into a storyline. Now, I'm not Mark Millar's biggest fan in the whole widest world, but here is the guy from Wanted, obviously a bit older, a bit white. That's the woman who indoctrinates him. And it kind of goes from there, really, drawing everyone. He's creating a group of supervillains, and basically they've eradicated, in this timeline, they've eradicated superheroes. Here's Nemesis from one of his latest titles. I think I did give that first issue of that a little recommendation. Here's he's called Starlight, which is I won't, you know, it's a Superman type character of Mark Millar's. You know, kind of like one of the last ones left, as it were. And then we go into a kind of whole different ball game here, about digging up old relics and, you know, something going on in the past. And these two characters having to do something about it. Then we're on to the ambassadors. You know, we're midpoint here, so this is rocking along, which is what I love Mark Millar for. He doesn't hang around, the boy. He doesn't hang around with his storylines. And this is even more recent storyline than Nemesis, or maybe at the same time, because you've got Nemesis that I've just shown you, and this is Ambassadors, which is I preferred this a lot more than Nemesis. Nemesis was great. Ambassadors, I just thought was absolutely superb idea. How you could create superheroes. You know, she's the head of the whole thing. I won't show any more from there because, again, it kind of gives it. No, this doesn't give it. This just shows you some lovely artwork, really. You know. It's got a kind of cliffhanger on the issue, you know, issue 1/1st episode. So, yeah, here's a few more Millar, you know, kick ass and hit girl and all that. And this is, guess who? Ambassadors, even nightclub, little bit there. I only just noticed that, to be fair. I only just noticed that. But how he's just, you know, bringing all the elements in from his. I love that image. Bringing all the elements in. There's a great bit of artwork that of his kind of Millar world. But great first issue. Great first issue of that. And this one, I know this might come at you from a little bit left field, really, but Batman Beyond Neo-Gothic. And do you know what? It does everything it says on the tin. And I think this artwork is beautiful. I really do. I think from these kind of little fantasy bits straight into the horror, and it is a neon lit. Look, bang! How's that for a splash page? Now, Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing are on the writing duties. Max Dunbar as the artist, and I must shout out Sebastian Cheng on the colours for this one, because I'll tell you what, Well, you can tell from here, you know, from that corner across Batman Beyond to this stuff, to this green, this green element that he's brought in here. You know, there's some thought going on here. And what a rain-soaked splash page that is. And the artwork continues to be full on. This is packed. Packed. He's on his motorbike. He's on the earpiece to, what's the name? What is it? Beam. And then suddenly you're back home. But you know, we've got a little bit more space now. He's like how the artist has conveyed the loneliness. I really did enjoy it. You know, no backgrounds apart from the ones of the photo. You know, purposely left blank. I'd like to think so. That's the way I'm interpreting it. Because then, his girlfriend turns up, and you know, we're back. Well, they're back to it, disconnected. But again, they're full. These panels are full up. Nicely paced. You know, in one page, we've gone from him flying in the air to a close-up of the eyes. It's great stuff. This is obviously, they're setting up, this is issue 1, they're setting up this guy. Forgive me if this is a character that is a constant in the Batman Beyond universe. Look at this, another Gotham. We're introduced to Gotham Deep. Basically, Batman Beyond has got to go down here to find out where all these kids are going missing. I know that's a very, very basic storyline, but please bear with it, because they're introducing little characters like this that we had at the beginning, and stuff like this, and I'm sure they're gonna treat us to. And it's a great character, by the way. It's a great character. One of the what they call them, Selena Kyles or something, or the Kyles. What is it they call them? Oh, I forget now. Sorry, guys. I've been trying to wade through 19 comics this week. But basically, Selena's, what do they call them? Anyway, you get the idea. She's one of the Selena gang. That what's gone on in the future. Yeah, like I say, I just loved. I thought this artwork was beautiful. In the darkness as well, but still showing you every single character. I like the detail in these tunnels, and the colouring. Yeah, colouring superb. Look at that for panels and colour. The way it splashes out from that character. Obviously a Bane type character. And yeah, there we go. So that's why I'm recommending that. A great imaginative storyline, great artwork. Can't ask for more, in my opinion. Unless it's a comic that won't fit on the camera because it's so big. And this is such a great idea. Basically, the one idea in this book is that, and sorry guys, you know that with these big prestige ones, I can't bend this page back, so we will get a bit of glare, so I do apologise for that. Let's focus on this page a bit more. Clark Kent bored, and we've got a flashback here. He's green, so we might know what's going on in there. And the story unfolds from there. Obviously, Brian Hitch's artwork on this format is absolutely beautiful. You know, Brian Hitch needs at least this format to contain his artwork, I think, anyway. Look at this stuff. And this is obviously what brings, this attack is what brings, look at that. Don't know if you can fully appreciate. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I'll just about get all that in. And guess who's inside of this monstrosity? It's Superman. And Kevin Nolan. I'm not sure if Kevin Nolan is, and I love Kevin Nolan's artwork, but I'm not sure if he's the best inker over Brian Hitch's. I don't know if he makes it a bit too dark. You can still see it's Brian Hitch, but I don't know. Don't know if anyone wants to join in with that, then let me know, because I'm not saying it spoiled it, because I'm here making it my book of the week. The conceit of this storyline is that Lex Luthor has found out he's dying, and he's done this to attract Superman's attention, and he said, you've got to save me from dying. I know you will. And Superman says, actually, yeah, you're right. You know, he's such a big boy scout, which is why Lex Luthor hates him so much. And what he's done is he's televised it. Where he's the most hated man in the world, he's televised the conversation between himself and Superman. So that the whole world, by the end of this issue, the whole world knows that Superman is willing to find a cure for whatever ails Lex Luthor. Here we go. Look, all around the world. He's just broken the news. Look, too late. You know, why would you do that? You know, we keep this between us. Too late. And the story unfolds from there. And as only Mark Waid can do, he gets everything in. We've got flashbacks here with Lex and Clark when they were kids. That gets that bit of commentary in of the characters, and then it comes back to present day, and taken into the Fortress of Solitude, and then to Kandor. And obviously you've got all the Superman lore in there, and you know, especially with Kandor, the bottle city of Kandor. And I'll leave it there because there's a little bit of a cliffhanger ending to that. So that is my book of the week. And just quickly before I go, out of the also rans, let's just quickly look at more Brian Hitch artwork, which you can't beat. We're more of a Marvel fan, you know, but you just can't beat the man doing a bit more. Look at what's happened. Look what they've done to the Hulk. He is the leader of the enlightened children of eternal light, where they're calm and zen, and it's so obviously the Hulk in the future has found a way of finding his inner peace. And here's all our recognisable heroes. I just love the way that's done. What Brian Hitch has done there, like the portal that they're all, and this is obviously in Latveria. Yes, here we go. Probably took Brian Hitch a couple of weeks, but we've got 2 books this week, both by Brian Hitch. Love it. Love it. So anyway, that's all I wanted to show. You know, you can't beat a bit of Brian. And the other one, and again, this is a square bound format, guys, so please bear with me. I'll tell you what I will do. This is the Stormwatch story that I said. This brought all the characters back. What lovely artwork. That wasn't really the main ones, brought all the, you know. It's a really intriguing storyline, because obviously this is an anthology book, The Brave and the Bold. Lovely cover as well. I love this kind of stuff. And I know my old mate Space Lizard would love all this kind of stuff, artwork wise. But what I wanted to show you lot was, sorry, I'm flicking through, and this again, it's all lovely artwork. This is a very, you know, normally I moan about I'm not sure about the Superman one, but you're always going to have your least favourite. I'm not going to say it's crap, but I will put it down to my least favourite. But look. Now, this is my proper cup of tea. If you're going to... Oh, sorry, I've just knocked the camera. It's all going wrong. Because I wanted to show you this gothic artwork. This black and white. Look at that. City of Monsters. George Molina. Look at this. Love it. For a Batman story. And nice and short and sweet. Yeah, I just thought it was great, and I thought I'd just show you guys before we go off and do cover of the week. Look at it, just all in silhouette. Nice black and white artwork. Sometimes look at the design of the Batmobile. I don't know if that's coming through. Look at the design of that Batmobile. Love it. So, let's do cover of the week, shall we? Now, I think that is a great. I think that's a great cover, and he's looking in the mirror, but he's got these photos on the mirror. So I thought that was intriguing. I mean, that's got to sell your Superman book, hasn't it? I've got to include that because that's got to sell your Superman book. But equally, if you're a superhero, that's got to sell your Spider-Man book, hasn't it? But I think they've done that last month, and I know he's fighting the Green Goblin again, but nevertheless, with your limited pocket money and that little spinner in the newsagents, you can't avoid it, can you? You can't. And if you're a Star Wars fan, it don't get any better than that, does it? And I thought this cover was beautiful artwork. It's the Night Terrors storyline. Look at what they've done here. Evocative of Kelly Jones with the ears and that, and when he kind of went this way with the graphics of it all. I've just noticed what's going on with his back in that as well. And the armour, you know, it's kind of like almost like a because I haven't read the book yet, so apologies for that. I've kind of flicked through the storyline. 19 books, guys. Sorry, all right. I like this one because it was Sandman, Deadman, and Batman, the three men in their night terrors. And again, I love all this gothic horror stuff. It's funny how a lot of these books are going back that way. Other contenders for cover of the week, if you bear with me. Like I said, it's not going to be Tenement. Ultimate Invasion getting, it's got to be a wraparound in it. It isn't either. Cramming Brian Hitch's panels onto a page is hard work, let alone cramming a cover. I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna put that cover there. I don't know if anyone would find that intriguing enough to buy to buy the comic with limited pocket money. Probably not. And although that has got everyone crammed into it, is it Ultimate Avengers? Is it who are these? You know, so the Night Terrors one, that's great artwork, but it's just a horror. It is just a horror one. That's a great Star Wars book. I mean, that's got to be, Superman is Superman. So is that a cheat? I don't know, but I'm going to remove that off the board. And it's down to these two, weirdly. Very, very traditional. I think this one, it just stops short of being too clever. If they went any further, like the Star Wars one I've just taken, the Darth Vader one I just took off, there's nothing wrong with a simple image done well. A bit like good cooking. Simple ingredients, simple meals, simple recipes done well. And this, I just think this is a simple idea done really well. The threat of the Joker. I like all the little details. If you do want to go in a little bit further, whose mirror is this with this little love art here and things like this, like what is going on. So I just thought, the way these are placed, a little bit of, the blood splatter as well, whoever's holding the phone or the camera. So that, guys, is I was going to say camera of the week then, is my cover of the week. And if you have stood by me this far into this video, thank you very much. I always have fun, a lot of fun. This is my favourite video of the week because it goes through everything I love. And there's been a ton of great stuff the past 2 weeks. So I'm over the moon. So on that note, there's your cover of the week. Thank you ever so much, guys. As always, please like, subscribe and give me a comment about what I'm waffling on about. I love all that. And until next week, I will bid you all adios.